Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the official first episode of the Wellness Wake Up Weekly. Ooh, that's a mouthful of W's.
Yes, it is. What were we thinking?
What were we thinking with Wellness Wake Up Weekly? All right, well, WWW. And today's episode is From Chaos to Calm, How to Create Mornings That Actually Fuel You. And I am so excited to chat about this. Aren't you, Christine?
I am. This is okay. So mornings are my thing. This is my thing.
I'm so glad that they are your thing because they did not used to be my thing. I'm a recovering non-morning person. And so anyway, first of all, we're going to be chatting a little bit about some simple habits just to start the day with more energy because we could always use some more energy. And I know that we all hate feeling chaotic in the morning, right? It puts us off for the day, yet some days are chaotic. Sometimes we just start with the day. But what if you could flip the script and actually start the day in a way that fuels you, in a way that feels so empowering rather than drains you. So for anyone watching here, drop a one if you would love that. If you want to start your day that fuels you rather than drains you, because this is a big thing. And so, Christine, I just have to ask you, first of all, before we kind of dive in a little bit, I want to ask you, are you a snoozer? Like, do you hit the snooze button or do you just pop right out of bed in the morning?
I am almost always out of bed before the alarm goes off. I only have an alarm because it's the just in case I oversleep. My alarm is not my get up alarm. It's the just in case I sleep too long. And I have been like this since high school.
Wow.
Yes.
That is so incredible. When I was in high
My
school,
parents never had to get me out of bed. I was always out of bed and dressed and ready to go before anybody else. And yes, I am not a snooze hitter,
oh
with
my,
the exception of nap time.
hmm.
Sometimes if I take a nap in the middle of the day and it goes off and I'm just starting to get relaxed, oh yeah, I'll hit the snooze then.
Yeah, it's so funny because all through high school and even into my early adulthood, and I'm so grateful that my kids actually like to sleep as well. I did not want to get up in the morning. I was not a morning person. I was grumpy. My mom had to come and drag me out of bed most mornings because I would accidentally turn the alarm completely off instead of just snoozing it. And I was pretty much I am known for being late. And I think that results in the snoozing in the beginning of the day. I have gotten much better, and now I love mornings, and I actually love to wake up before my alarm even goes off. I don't even know how my body does it because it sometimes still amazes me. I wake up and I check the time, like, whoa, I'm up before my alarm, woo woo, and I actually feel energized. And I think it's just because I started changing up my habits because it's
Hmm.
not just morning habits that need to change. It's before you go to bed habits that need to change. And we'll talk a little bit about that later. But first of all, I would love to know from you, are you a snoozer? Are you one that hits snooze? Be honest. It's okay
Yeah,
because
it's okay.
yeah, it's okay. Or do you pop right up in the morning and have no problem? Let us know. And it's funny because I was at an event last night. One of the activities they had us do is we were standing in these big long lines, like staring at other people. Most of us we didn't know each other because it was a networking mixer and asking different questions. And one of the questions they asked was, did you hit snooze this morning? I was proud to stay in place. I did not have to move because the point was you were supposed to move if the answer was yes. And there was a lot of people that hit snooze. And I can't say I was shocked because I guess I was definitely one of those people. I used to hit snooze a lot, so I can totally relate with them. But when I was doing a little bit more research on this, 60% of people hit snooze every morning.
Isn't that crazy?
At
I
least,
have
and
heard
actually, no, that's not even right. The it was 60% of people hit snooze at least three times in the morning.
that's
Okay, so
insane.
yeah,
Have
so
you ever met somebody though that intentionally sets their alarm so that they can hit the snooze?
Yeah, I'm sure that that's a thing. I'm sure that people set it
It,
for
it,
much
it, it,
earlier than they actually have to get up. I mean, well, first of all, if you're watching this, let us know if you're that kind of person. If you set your alarm for way, way earlier than you actually have to get up because you know that you're going to be the one to hit snooze one, two, three, four times
uh-huh.
before you
It is
actually
so
grab
bad for your brain. It is so bad
it.
for
It
your brain.
is.
But
It's
it does. It actually drains you. And I didn't think to look up the study, but I read a study that when you hit the snooze, it actually can make you more tired.
Yes. Yes, I have read similar studies before. It wasn't recently though, so I can't quote exact things from it,
I
but I
can't
do
either.
remember seeing something about that as well, that it messes with your brain because your brain thinks that it can fall back into a deeper sleep, but then you're
Mhm.
jolting it back out. It's like it's not letting you go through the proper amount of sleep cycles like you normally would when you go to sleep at night and you stay asleep throughout the night and then you wake up in the morning.
Right. Yeah. It messes with it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that that study is quoted in one of Mel Robbins' books. Her 3 second rule, I think it's called 3 second rule. No, or 5 second rule.
Five
Sorry.
5 second rule.
It's the whole hand. It's five. But you know what I mean? Because I remember her saying something. It's been years since I've read that book. It's an incredible book, by the way, if you haven't read it. But she had to get herself out of that habit of hitting snooze because she also learned from that study that we're talking about. And she said that as soon as her alarm would go off, she would lay there. She did not want to go out of bed, but then she would just count five, four, three, two, one, and force herself to get out.
Mhm.
And it's so true. Like sometimes we have to do that. Some days it's just like, oh, don't want to get out of bed. Maybe had a late night the night before, or maybe it's a drizzly morning and you're like, nah.
Or it's going into winter and we have less hours of daylight. Yes,
Yeah,
totally. And
yeah,
honestly,
exactly.
I think part of it starts with your when you go to bed.
Yeah.
Make sure you go to bed at the same time and then you can get up at the same time.
Hmm. Yeah, I was literally just talking about this with somebody last night because we were talking about how I've gotten so into the habit of going to bed around 8 or 8:30. I mean, I feel like an old fogey sometimes when I'm like, "Oh, it's my bedtime," and I'm going to bed early. But then I'm like, "But I feel so rested in the morning. I actually had such a great night's sleep, even when I'm being woken up sometimes by the cats kneading my head in the middle of the night. I still wake up and I
Mhm.
feel refreshed in the morning. But that's also has to do with the nighttime routine. It's not just going to bed at a decent hour. It's like, what are you doing before you go to bed? So,
Before you go to bed. And no
yeah,
judgment here. I go to bed between 7:30 and 8 o'clock. So,
yeah. And the other thing too, like when you wake up in the morning, first of all, after we sleep for 7 to 8 hours a night, and that's how much of sleep we actually should be getting. So if you're not, try
yeah.
getting that in. But our body is naturally dehydrated because think about it, you've been sleeping for
Mhm.
7 to 8 hours. You have not had a sip of water, you haven't had anything to drink. And we actually have mild dehydration when we wake up in the morning. And so that can actually cause us to feel more tired because
Mhm.
dehydration can cause fatigue. And so it can also cause, oh my goodness, all kinds of other things like
All kinds of other things. But
brain
for
fog and everything like that. But what's really important is like if we have water, I always sleep with water, this giant thing right beside my bed, and I take huge sip of it as soon as I wake up in the morning. The other thing is if I wake up in the middle of the night to pee, I always take a big drink too, because I'm like, I know that my body needs that hydration.
right. I try to have this at least 3/4 full before I go to bed. And I try to drink all of it within the first 30 minutes to an hour.
Yep.
I mean, I really try to drink that down. And even my chiropractor said this helps with a lot of things. If you have back pain, if you have, I mean, her number one thing that she says, my massage therapist and my chiropractor both drink water, drink water, drink water. So, my chiropractor, Legina, if you're watching this, yes, I'm still drinking my water in the morning.
And I am too. I don't have a chiropractor and I am over over needed for a massage, but I definitely love to drink a lot of water first thing in the morning because I know that our body
Mhm.
needs it. Not just for the hydration, but like you're saying, it helps with so many other things. Our body needs water to function properly. And so by putting that into our body first thing, that's important. What else is the first thing that you reach for in the morning? After you have your water, what do you usually fuel your morning with? Is it, coffee or energy drink or something else?
I have two things that are non-negotiable for me. So one of them is my coffee slash chicory. I have gradually switched more to chicory, less coffee. And then of course our BFF, our Fit Fuel. So in my coffee, my sister tells me I'm nuts, but it has grass-fed butter, MCT oil, the Fit Fuel, our gold, and I actually put extra collagen and extra protein in mine. Okay, I know it sounds like a lot, but but it's kind of like my morning almost treat. It's almost like okay, as the hobbits say, it's my first breakfast, not my second breakfast.
I know. I definitely think of my coffee as my first breakfast because it actually makes it so that I don't have all of that like desire for food, that hunger first thing in the morning. Because same, I use the Fit Fuel. I used to actually add protein powder and collagen powder like you're saying, but now I just add more of the Fit Fuel because that has the collagen and the protein powder. Plus, it's got all the other good stuff for our gut health and everything. And I also use the gold. And I think also, have you noticed that when you have your gold, that also like kind of makes it so that you're not very hungry. You're not like craving
Yes,
food. I love that because I mean, it's nice to not wake up and feel that like, oh, I've got to eat food right away, that kind of thing. I don't
yes,
like to have that feeling of like, oh, I'm starving. And so I do think that having the gold in there helps as well. And then I also like to add so in for me, my coffee, I actually like to do the brew, which is the mushroom coffee.
yes.
Absolutely delicious.
It
And
is delicious. I so wish I could have it, but it has a little bit of chocolate in it, and I have a chocolate intolerance, so I can't have it. So honestly, if that was, that's what I would rather have.
hmm and I love it. And I also even add a little bit of and I'm sh probably saying this wrong, but it's like Silan cinnamon. Anyway, it's some sort of cinnamon. It's a cinnamon, but it's not like regular cinnamon bark. It's a different type that has a little bit more health benefits to it. I like to just sprinkle that on top just for fanciness.
Oh, but it tastes good too.
Does. It tastes delicious.
It is. It's
Right now
delicious.
when it's like fall and I'm in the mood for like cozy things. In the summertime, I make my coffee iced. I just pour it over ice. I make it literally the exact same, but instead of hot water, I'm using cold water and
Yes.
make the same thing. But in the winter time, the added cinnamon and the warmth of it, I'm like, cozy,
Hmm.
cozy,
I
yummy.
have a chai seasoning mix that I have mixed together, and it has so many health benefits, and I've added that to my coffee in the fall. It's delicious.
Delicious too. Yes, you're gonna have to share that recipe with all of us someday.
It's you just mix. I just mix it up in a shaker cup, and I just put it right on top of my coffee, and oh, so good.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome.
Making me want another cup of coffee.
Yeah, so this is my second one because I went for a smaller cup of coffee this morning so that I could have a second one while I was chatting with you because I'm like, you know what? I want to feel cozy when Christina and I chat. So anyway, that's why I'm having a second cup of coffee now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's dive back a little bit more into like morning routines and actually creating mornings that fuel you instead of drain you because I know that that's so important. And so it definitely starts with what you're putting in your body first thing in the morning. And it's not
Mhm.
just putting things in your body like the water, the coffee,
Yes.
whatever it is. It's also what are you exposing yourself to? First of all, natural light. If you are up like as the sun is rising, it's so important to get that sunlight in your eyeballs. Like see if you can step outside for a minute because that is so important. It's literally triggering your body to realize, okay, it's time to be awake right now. And
Mhm.
so that, and it's also, it helps you to regulate your circadian rhythm. It's just so important. Plus, sun is good for you, vitamin D. It helps boost your mood. I mean, like, why not, right?
All of the things. Oh, and I did say I had two non-negotiables. My second
Oh,
one
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
is reading my Bible.
Yeah.
That is, I mean, it doesn't matter where I am. Very rarely do I miss that. And it's usually if I'm out of town and I'm anxious to get home and I get in the car at 3 o'clock in the morning and I just read my Bible when I get home instead.
Yeah, or
But
like, or listen to an audio of it, right?
yeah.
Like, there are
So those
audio
are my two non-negotiables is my loaded coffee and reading the Bible. Those are my two non-negotiables for my morning.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. And what else was I gonna say? Oh, well, first of all, if you're watching this, say hello if you have not already. And
Yes.
also don't forget to tag a friend who you think could benefit from this because we're not necessarily all taught. We're definitely not ever taught in school, but a lot of the times just the way that we are raised, we were never really taught proper health and healthy
Hmm.
habits to have as we're going to sleep at night, as we wake up in the morning. Either that or life has just gotten so crazy and hectic and busy that we have forgotten to think about it and we have gotten into bad habits. I mean, we've all gone through this. So you're not alone if you have some pretty bad habits late at night, staying up too late or having junk food before you go to bed or alcohol or whatever it is, and then waking up in the morning and hitting your snooze 5 times. Like that's okay because we've all done it, but having that realization is like, oh, yeah, this is actually doing a number to my health. And I
Yeah.
actually don't feel very good for this. And I actually feel like I'm so tired all day long. You know, these are all things. That's why we're putting together these episodes for you every
Mhm.
Wednesday, by the way. We are going to be live every Wednesday, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central.
Yes.
We're going to be sharing things with you that will help you to have better days, to feel better, and to just empower you in your wellness. So,
And simple things.
mhm.
Simple things that we don't always think about. So, yeah, all of you snoozers out there, tag your friends that pop out of the bed that drive you crazy, and all of you that pop out of bed at 4:30 in the morning, tag all your snoozer friends that need to hear this.
Yeah. Yeah, because everyone needs to hear this, whether or not you pop out of bed first thing in the
Absolutely. Either
morning.
way.
Yeah. Because we want you to join us on this wellness journey because it's so important for us all to feel good and for us to help each other and boost each other up and support each other. Because and why not have an accountability buddy, right? If you
Mhm.
struggle with something, have somebody be there as your backup buddy, you know, like you guys can message each other.
Like Carrie Marie and I do all day long.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. Because we're here for each other, and that's so
Yes.
important. So, another thing too is just stretching in the morning. If you can stretch or move your body, go for like a little walk. And it's literally just telling your body and helping your body to wake up and say, "Hey, I am ready for the day. I've got this." And staying off of the phone before bed and when you wake up in the morning. If you can have like I know it might be hard because you might be one of those people that before you go to bed, you've got your nose in your phone, or when you wake up, you got to check it right away. And so it might be hard. So try with like 10 or 15 minutes at first to start. Just say, okay, I'm going to refrain for 10 or 15 minutes before I go to bed at night, or 10 to 15 minutes when I wake up in the morning. I'm going to stay away from my phone. But the longer you can wait, the
Hmm.
if you can go like I would say a good half hour to an hour is going to be ideal, right?
Hmm.
I mean,
Oh,
how
yeah,
long do you go,
easily.
Christine? How long do you go usually?
Honestly, I pick up my phone, I look at it, and I'll go, okay, do I have any calls from my mom or my sister? Emergencies. Nope. Okay. And then I don't look at messages until usually about 8 o'clock, and I get up at 4:30.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, okay, I do get on my iPad to send birthday wishes in the morning, but I don't scroll through Facebook. Like, I look at my birthdays, send it because I want people to wake up to a happy message.
Yeah.
No, I pretty much stay off of mine for several hours, honestly. How about you?
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same way, unless there is something that like is pressing, you know, like I know for sure that I'm meeting up with somebody in the morning and I need to touch base or something like that, or the same thing. Like I have children. So, you know, if I don't see anything on my phone and I don't really look through it, I'll glance at the home page because it will show me if I have messages from my kids. And if there's nothing on there, then guess what? I'm
Yes,
going
that's
about
me
my
too.
day.
Like I very quickly will go, okay, mom didn't call, and all of them know to call me if there's an emergency because then it
Exactly.
bypasses my do not disturb. But once,
Exactly. I have do not disturb on at night, but then I do allow calls to come through from my family. And we also have a landline. So if people really need to reach us, people that we really know and love, they know our landline number. They can call the landline. I know that's old fashioned, but when we live out in the middle of nowhere and we don't really get cell service at our house, if the internet's out, that's the only way that we can contact people. is through the landline. So they know that they can call us on that if they need to. So that is not as much of a worry for me, but I really try to stay off my phone for at least an hour or two. The
Hmm.
only thing that I will grab my phone for is if I'm going to listen to a meditation or like a guided prayer or an audiobook or something like that. But I will not open up social media. I absolutely will not open up social media. I won't open up my texts, my emails, any kind of messenger. I mean, there's like so many
Nothing
zillions of
work
ways of
related.
communication these days, right? There's
Yes.
all kinds of social media platforms, business platforms. There's everything under the sun. There's a million ways that people can message you, but it can wait. Unless it's an
Wait.
emergency, they can all wait. They will all still be there. And the news is always going to be out there. And most of the time, it's bad news. And it's not good to let the outside world in. Like the morning time, and even right before you go to bed, it should be a time for you, for reflection, for intention setting, whatever that might be, but it should be time for you to care for yourself and control what's going on in the mind and
Hmm.
what you're thinking about. Because if you're allowing the outside world in, guess what? That just kind of messes with the mind in the morning. And oh, not a good way to start the day, and it can make it more chaotic and stressful because, like, think about if you open up to social media or the news, pop on the TV to watch news first thing in the morning, that can literally throw you off so much because, I mean, the last time I saw the news, it was all bad. And if
And
you're,
that used to be my first go-to. As soon
yeah,
as I got up, I turned on the TV and turned it on to the news station.
yeah, and if you're looking
And
at stories
I
about
know.
killings and political crap and wars and all this other stuff, think about the damage that's doing. Like it's literally causing your stress levels to rise. You're going to get
Hmm.
upset about these things and for no reason. It's something that you don't even have control over. So,
Right.
so it's like don't even look at it. Don't
That's
even
right.
let it enter
That
into
you can
it.
control.
Yes, exactly. You can control what you turn on, what you look at first thing in the morning, and that's important. And, even just we were talking bit before you go to bed, if you can go to bed in a way like they say not to eat within a couple hours before you go to bed. I know that sometimes schedules don't allow for you to eat, but the longer you can go before you like from between the last time you eat and the time you go to bed, the better.
Hmm.
And same thing with as much as you don't want to feel completely dehydrated, it's not good to drink a bunch right before you fall asleep because then you're going to have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night for sure.
Right.
I sometimes do anyway, just because I'm always drinking water throughout the day.
I am too.
So sometimes I will have to get up once in the middle of the night, but ideally you're not. And especially too, like if sugar and alcohol do a number to your sleep as well. They do not allow your body to fall into a deep sleep because it's trying to keep it up. There's all kinds of weird things happening, especially going on in your brain. I don't know all of the scientific things. Oh, by the way, we did not mention, we have to have a little disclosure here. We're not doctors.
No.
So, but we're just giving you tools and tips that we have seen research on that have helped us, that have helped people that we work with. We are both wellness coaches. And so we help people to get from a place of feeling icky to a place of feeling awesome.
Hmm.
And we have both been at the places in our lives where we have felt icky. And it's not
Oh
good.
yeah.
It's not fun. And you don't want to be there. And we learned the hard way how important it is to take care of yourself. And so that's why we're doing this. That's why we're
Mhm.
putting this on because it needs to be more well known of people need to take care of themselves. It's important. You are important. So,
Absolutely.
yes, don't forget, first of all, tag a friend if they could benefit even just a tad from one of these episodes. Drop a comment.
Hmm.
Let them know, tag them in the comments, let them know that they can tune in here. Ask them to be your accountability buddy if you need somebody to get your butt out of bed in the morning or to remind you not to have that cookie before you go to bed.
Hmm.
You
Don't
know.
ask me. I'll be messaging you at 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning if I pick up my phone.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But definitely, we want to be able to impact so many people and help so many people. And so, by you sharing this out or tagging a friend, that's just helping other people.
Hmm.
And the other thing is, don't forget to put this on your calendar. Wednesday mornings. Wednesday mornings, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central, and so on from there. We don't
Yeah,
need to
and so
get
on
to
from
all of
there.
the
I'm not
time
gonna be
zones.
able to.
You can do the math.
Yes.
Ask Google
Yes.
or ask Siri, whatever the time is for you, if you're in a different time zone than what I said.
Yes.
But yes, anything else you want to add to this? What are some things that are helpful of just starting your day off powerfully?
For me, it literally is getting up. And I know it sounds crazy. I get up and I sit down. I get up, take my dogs out, come in, get my coffee or tea. I've been drinking tea the last few days, sit down, and I get puppy cuddles and God time. And that just really starts my day out right. And okay, so full disclosure, I actually play a game after I've read the Bible, but I only do it for a short period of time. And for me, it's kind of a like it's mindless. So I can think about the what I just read, but if I'm not doing something, anybody else can you relate? If you're sitting still, if you're not doing something, you're like, I gotta go, I gotta go, I
Yeah.
gotta go, I gotta go. Yeah.
Yep.
So if I'm doing something, then I can sit and relax. And then the chickens start crowing and I gotta go feed them. So
Yeah, yeah. Then all of the rest of the stuff happens. We do all of the things that we've got to do. But I think that, yeah, having that time where we can just we have our time. And I know that that's not easy if you have little kids at home or if you've got
Mhm.
animals that are like right out there, but it's definitely something that as long as you practice, as long as you add in little things here and there, it's not going to
Mhm.
just come overnight, especially if you have gone into bad habits. Sometimes those bad habits start creeping in, but just have awareness around it. Give yourself grace. Don't give yourself a hard time like, oh, I did it again. I hit snooze again. It's okay. Just give yourself grace. Do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and hop out of
Yes.
bed.
Smash the ants. Automatic negative thoughts.
Mm,
I heard that from somebody. I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's awesome." So
that
now
is,
sometimes when I my brain does it, I'm like, "Nope, sorry, ants.
nope.
Smashing you, gone."
Yep, exactly. Well, I think that everybody now has some tools that they can use,
Mhm.
and I'm so excited to continue this journey with everybody. This
Yes.
this is just so fun. And if this was helpful to you, drop a comment. Let us know if this was helpful. Let us know what your morning is usually like and what you plan to do a little bit differently now.
Yes.
Let us know because you know what, setting your intention and then putting it out there, stating it like this is what I'm going to now do, that is going to be helpful to you to keep your word to yourself.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
awesome. Well, Christine, I will see you again next week.
Yes.
I will talk to
I'm
you
so
pretty much every
excited.
day.
Oh, yes. All right, everybody have a great day and it's morning, so
Yeah.
hopefully you're going to go from chaos to calm.